The Tennessee Titans desperately need an edge rusher in the NFL draft, and I'm going to show you my favorite fits on day 2 in today's film breakdown from Tic Tac Titans. Titans fans, welcome into another film breakdown from Tic Tac Titans, your home for Tennessee Titans X's and O's. I am your host, Tyler Rowland, 25 years as a Tennessee Titans fanatic. I've covered the team for Sports Illustrated, USA Today, and hosted the #1 Tennessee Titans podcast, Locked On Titans, for 6 seasons. On today's film breakdown, we're going to take a look at my favorite day 2 edge rushers. These are guys I think the Tennessee Titans could pick at pick 35 all the way down to pick 100. I'm going to go over James Pearce Jr. out of Tennessee, Nic Scourton out of Texas A&M. We're going to talk about Bradyn Swinson out of LSU. We're also going to hit Princely Umanmielen out of Ole Miss, Landon Jackson out of Arkansas, and Femi Oladejo out of UCLA. Again, the draft is tonight. I'm going to have a full scouting report on Cam Ward ready to go for you guys. I'm going to have a video talking about how Cam Ward fits in the Tennessee Titans and Brian Callahan's scheme. So make sure that you tune in for that. Throw a thumbs up on the video. Throw a Titan up down in the chat. Make sure you get subscribed for year-round free Tennessee Titans film content. But with that being said, as we always do, let's step into the film room. James Pearce is a prototypical edge. 6'5", 240 pounds, great length. He's everything that you're looking for in a big edge rusher in the modern NFL. And again, the big thing that stands out is the athleticism, his burst off the line of scrimmage, and then the speed with which he can get around offensive tackles. You have James Pearce out of Tennessee right here. And I mean, watch the tape. Boom, shot out a cannon off the line of scrimmage, knocks the hand away, and gets to the quarterback. Again, super impressive stuff. The get off the line of scrimmage, the explosion off the line of scrimmage, just unnatural for a guy his size. And then watch him dip and use his hands. Knock the hand down right there. I'm going to knock your outside hand down with mine. And now I have the bend and the dip to get underneath you around the corner. Look how low he is. Like a motorcycle, leaning, and get the finish. Beautiful, beautiful speed rush there by Pearce. We have Pearce right here, again, out on the edge. Pearce is a guy who may not make it. Boom, inside counter. May not make it out of the first round, but if he does, I know there are some character concerns, but this is a blue chip edge talent. And for the Tennessee Titans, who have a massive need, like, it would not be a shock to see James Pearce as one of the top 5 edge rushers in the NFL 3 years from now. That would not be a shock. He has the talent to do it. It's the off-field stuff, the dedication to football. And look, I know that may be a risk for the Titans right now, but a talent like this doesn't drop to 35, so you may need to take a chance on it. Again, we saw the speed before, and when you have that kind of speed to get around people, offensive tackles are going to overset. They're going to want to meet you. They're going to want to beat the speed. They know they can't compete, so they got to get out early. Well, what happens is that's going to leave guys vulnerable to inside counters. And James Pearce has the ability to counter inside. Watch this swim move and this dip. Boom, right around him. And you're smoked. So the speed, along with the ability to counter inside, and he can get even better as a really young player. Impressive, impressive stuff. All right, so here we have Pearce right here again against Arkansas in this one. Watch him close down the gap, get off the block, and make the play. Like, it's not just the pass. A lot of guys are just pure pass rushers and they don't want to play the run. James Pearce will play the run. You got the puller coming in here, and he just completely stonewalls it, keeps his balance, and then makes the tackle on the running back. Bam! Right there. Keeps his balance, eliminates the block, makes the tackle for loss. Okay, here we go, against Ohio State. It's not just his ability to take on the block, okay? His pursuit from the backside, the speed, the length, it all matters in. We're going to see a run to the backside, and we're going to see some pullers come from Ohio State. Well, James Pearce reads his keys and hightails it across the formation from the backside and makes the play on the running back. Speed, man, and for a guy his size, it's so much talent, would be hard to pass on at 35. Nic Scourton out of Texas A&M is the next guy that I want to talk about. I think he would be a tremendous fit, and if you're the Tennessee Titans, I think pick number 35 could be a good option. For Scourton, I've heard it both ways. Whatever, we'll figure it out one day. But what we see here is another guy who's a technician. I think that Scourton doesn't have elite athleticism, quickness, speed. Also, he played about 20 pounds too heavy his last year in college, in my opinion. You look at his season before, and we'll see some highlights from that, but I think he had much more pop the year before, and he was much more productive as a pass rusher as well. But we see him right here. He's about 280 pounds in this clip. 6'4". I mean, this is a big player, 6'3", a big player, physical player with a lot of power in his hands, but he's refined. He has good technique. He has good pass rush moves, and he has an inside spin move that's absolutely devastating that we see on display here. Boom. Look how big he is. Look how thick and sturdy he is. As a physical edge setter, and then a guy who gives you that sort of ability to throw in a spin move like this, again, he is a physical technician, in my opinion. Going to be a power player. And we see it here, an outside rush. He gets to the outside, he swipes down the outside hand, and then he rips under and gets through to the quarterback. Knock the hand down, rip under, get to the quarterback. And we'll see it here. Rip down, and then underneath. Again, right here, watch it. Knock the hand down, rip underneath to the quarterback. Also, a new little slow motion feature. Hope you guys like that. Should be helpful going forward. Now we get to run defense, and this is really where I think Nic Scourton stands out. His run defense, because he's so big and physical, even at his weight the prior year. 260 pounds. I still think that he can be a big physical edge setter for the Titans, and I think that's what they want. Look at him right here. You know who 79 is? That's Armand Membu, a guy who's going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. And watch Stewart right here. Get off the block and make the tackle for loss. Look at that. He can shoot gaps. He's got quickness. He's not a freak athlete by any means. He's not going to win with suddenness. But he is quick enough to shoot gaps and get in front of people. He is quicker than you think he would be at his size. Again, watch this. One-on-one shed, make the play. One-on-one, shed a top 10 offensive tackle inside, and make the play. Big fan. Big fan. We have him again right here. Run defense against LSU. At the point of attack. Look, holds his man right there at the point of attack. Arms are extended. He's in control. Sheds off the block. And while the guy is holding on to him, puts one arm out and takes down the ball carrier. I really like Scourton. He's really, really a good fit for the big physical edge that the Titans are looking for, with also some really nice pass rush technique that can get even better if he drops a little bit of weight from what he was in his college days last year. All right, this is the last edge rusher in my pick 35 tier. If the Titans took one of these guys at 35, I would be okay with it. And it's Bradyn Swinson out of LSU. This is one of the most underrated players in the NFL draft. I think he's a clear day 2 talent and probably one of the top 7 or 8 edge rushers in a really good edge rusher class. You have him right here, number 4 for LSU, but he has such great explosiveness off the line of scrimmage. He has good bend. He also has the ability to use his hands very well. He's physical in the run game. There's a lot of stuff that Bradyn Swinson does well that I like. Look at the hands right there. Look at the hands. Watch this. Cross chop. Little cross chop move where I'm coming from the outside and I'm chopping across to knock your hands off me, and now I have a clear lane to the quarterback. And he has the explosiveness and the athleticism to get it done. He could get even better with his pass rush refinement. A lot of these college guys could. But what he can do with his hands early on and the amount of ways to win that he has, he can do speed to power. He can go with speed and bend. He can do a cross chop like that. I mean, awesome stuff. I am a big fan of Bradyn Swinson. 60 pressures last year. Led college football. 6'3", think off the top of my head, 240 pounds, 250 pounds. So he checks the box of being a big physical guy with great length as well, which I think factors in a lot. We got Swinson again over here on this side against South Carolina. Twists and stunts. He's so good on twists and stunts. So good at sifting through the traffic. He's smooth. He slides in between crevices. Again, look, he's stopped right here. Twist stunt. He's going to loop. Going to have a guy right here, and he's going to loop inside. And the Titans do little stuff like this, so I think using him in these ways is critical. Gets inside on a guard, and look. Swims the guard. Sifts through. Finds his way to the quarterback and forces a strip sack. Look, it's not always going to be pretty, but Swinson is a guy who just finds a way to get into the backfield, get pressure, be productive. He's right here on this side. And in run defense, he is a willing and physical run defender as well, with pop in his hands and explosion. Look at that hit power. Look at that hit right there. Let's go. Get fired up, football fans. Look how he reads the option. Eyes on the quarterback. Eyes on the quarterback. Now I see you're pitching. Now I attack. Boom! Ah! Man, it fires me up. Let's go. Physical run defender, great length, great athleticism, sturdy frame, can add some weight and get even stronger. Watch him jump in here, right here. Goal line. Watch him jump in and slice through. Gap shooter. He can penetrate. I think he's such a great fit for what the Titans want. Bam, right at the goal line. Lock him down. Also, I didn't have time to really get into all of it, but Swinson is a guy who's very comfortable dropping back into coverage. And with the Titans zone blitzes they like to run under Denard Wilson, I think it would be a great fit. Next guy I want to talk about is Princely Umanmielen out of Ole Miss. He is a stretched out speed rusher, okay? He's 6'5". Super long arms, but he's thinner than any of the guys that I've mentioned so far. He's about 244 pounds, I believe. And everybody else that we've talked about, except maybe Pearce, is over that. And look, he's similar size to Pearce. He is not the athlete or the power guy that James Pearce is. This is a clear step below. And Princely Umanmielen is a guy that I would be interested in if the Titans were to trade back maybe into the 50s. I would take Princely Umanmielen in the 50s or lower. Also, if the Titans were to trade back and pick up a third-round pick, I think Princely Umanmielen would be a great choice in the third round. So the previous three guys we discussed are guys I would take at 35 or in the early second round. The next three guys with Princely Umanmielen as the starter guys I would take in the late second round into the third round here. But he has great speed and the ability to win with different moves. Inside spin right here, which is critical in my opinion for any speed rusher. You gotta have an inside counter because people are gonna overset to deal with your speed. It's the same thing that we saw earlier with James Pearce. You gotta be worried about that speed edge rusher. You get out too far. Now I got an easy lane inside. Good spin move. Knocks the ball out from the quarterback. Big time play. Look, here's another one. He absolutely destroyed Georgia. Destroyed Georgia this year. It's unbelievable how he absolutely murdered them. And now we went with speed to the edge. And that's why you overset. Look at this. Look at him right over here. Look how he kind of boom, boom, boom bounces. Kind of like a Euro step in a way. It's not quite as Euro steppy as the Euro step techniques that we see at the NFL level, but it's got some of that to it. See the 1-2? 1, 2, just to set you up, and now bend around the edge, get to the quarterback, force another fumble. Princely was the king against Georgia. But here we go again, another pass rush moment for Princely Umanmielen. He's down here at the bottom of the screen, locked up with the offensive tackle. But he gets through the outside arm with the speed. Again, he's got so much speed, it's just hard for offensive tackles to deal with. Now, I think he needs to dip a little bit more. He doesn't have the flexion in his hips or his ankles. If he did, he'd be a higher pick. Like, you could tell right here, he's not as low in his bend and as, angled as you would want to see, but it's good enough with the speed and the length. Gets through, add a little more weight and a little more strength on him. Absolute terror. Now, I used 3 plays of pass rush and only 1 play of run defense, because the reality with Princely Umanmielen is he is not a good run defender right now. He's willing to be physical, but he's so slight he can get moved away. But again, he's willing. Watch him bounce outside, take on the puller, bang with the outside shoulder, and then make the play on the running back. Like, he just needs to get bigger. The reality is, at his size, because he's tall and thin, he's going to get bullied when people get underneath his pads at the NFL level. But if he's willing to be physical and he's willing to get in there, I'm willing to teach him. Next guy I want to discuss is Landon Jackson out of Arkansas. He is a big, physical, long rusher. He's 6'6", I believe 260 pounds, so he fits that big, long, extended edge rusher that I think the Tennessee Titans are looking for. And guys, he is a cross-chop demon. Boom, right there. You see it. That is his move. It's almost his only move. Like, he's got to add more moves, but we see it to perfection here. Watch him cross. See, what you do is slide across the hands, and then you have a free run on the outside. And he uses his length to get it. Even though he's behind the quarterback, he can use his length to get arms on Jalen Milroe and pull him down for the sack. Cross chop, dip, get to the quarterback with the length. Really, really good stuff from Landon Jackson. We see him right here as well. Another great job with the hands. Watch him with the hands. Watch the hands work. Swipe down. You see that? And now free access. Swipe down with the hands. Punch the mic. Got too excited. You watch out. And now free lane to the quarterback. Sack. That's really nice. Now, he's got to add more to his game than that, but really good at knocking those hands away and getting to the outside. That is his move right there. We saw it twice in a row. Another area where I think Landon Jackson can really fit with the Titans is with stunts. So you're going to see a little cross stunt right here. He uses his length to alter the throw from the quarterback as well, which is huge. But gets through the stunt, takes advantage, pressure on the quarterback, and it gets knocked away. So again, you're going to have Landon Jackson coming straight at the offensive tackle, and then the guy looping behind him. And what happens is when he drives the offensive tackle backwards and this guard goes to take the other part of the stunt, it creates just a little bit of a crevice right here. And Jackson is able to slide through it and then again get his length involved, get his arms up, affect the throw from the quarterback. There's the stunt. As the guard slides over to take it, it creates a lane right here. Jackson makes an inside counter. He's getting his face mask held right there as well. But look, am I going to get there? I don't know, but I'm going to get my big paw, my long arm up, and affect the quarterback. Good stuff there. All right, we have Jackson down here at the bottom of the screen. I do believe we are getting into the run defense portion. And let me tell you, folks, Landon Jackson, physical and good against the run. And again, right here, what we're looking at is Landon Jackson setting the edge. The Titans had trouble setting the edge last year. That's why I keep saying they want big, physical edge rushers, because they want to be able to set a firm edge. And when you have undersized edge rushers like Harold Landry, sometimes that can get difficult. So Landon Jackson comes up here. He sets the edge. Boom, I'm right there. You're not going to be able to get to the perimeter. Everything else is forcing you back in. Now, your teammates got to come help. Okay? But this is a great edge set. Look at the length, too. One arm. Such good length. that he can play these and just watch them. Now, if he's taking on double teams at the line of scrimmage and people are getting under his pad level and stuff, it's going to be trouble. But out here on the edge, just setting a physical edge, and then look, shed it. That is exactly how you play it. Arms extended, have freedom, hold your man until it's time, disengage the block, make the play. That is textbook right there. It's beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Now we have Landon Jackson right here against Tennessee, and now he's inside of an offensive tackle. So he's not setting the edge on the outside. He's inside. I don't think he should do this as much at the NFL level, but he certainly has the ability to kick inside on pass rush downs. But watch him. The long arm. Look at the length. And I'm just holding. My eyes are on the running back. Still holding you. And make the play. He's just in such control because of his length. Get the long arm extended. Now you're off my body. Now I'm just watching. I'm just watching and waiting. Okay, the running back's going to move. Now I'm in full control. I'm going to take you from one side, move you to the other side with one arm, disengage, and make the tackle. That is excellent run defense. So you get a guy that size that can set a firm edge, that's physical against the run, with his ability to use the cross chop and use his hands in pass rush. Really nice option for the Titans later on day 2. The last guy we are going to discuss is Femi Oladejo. He's 6'3", 260 pounds out of UCLA. Great length. He's a former off-ball linebacker. Right? He played off-ball linebacker for multiple years at UCLA. Just his last season was he converted to an edge rusher, and he still had some moments where he played off-ball linebacker even while being an edge rusher. So much potential. He's still 21 years old, I do believe, or just turned 22. So much potential to be better as an edge rusher. You have him number 2 right here for UCLA. And not every play he can get a lot better. Again, he just became an edge rusher. So a lot of technical refinement is going to be necessary here, but there is so much natural ability with his thick, sturdy frame and his thick arms and strong hands and the pop and the power right here. Because of the freaking goalpost, it makes it a little difficult to see, but he knocks down the outside arm of number 77. Boom, and that creates a clear lane. And now he uses speed and athleticism. Boom, look at that burst to get around that second offensive lineman to get to the quarterback. Okay, the quarterback makes it miss, but I'm athletic enough and agile enough because I used to be an off-ball linebacker to track you down and make the play. That is an incredibly impressive rep because it really does show you everything that Femi Oladejo is going to bring to the table. The ability to get better with his pass rush moves, burst, explosion, agility, physicality, motor. He's got it all, man. He's got it all. And for a guy in the 3rd round, I would absolutely love it. Right here. Gets knocked off. Effort, hustle. Again, it's not a super refined player, but what he brings to the table, he's going to get through here, and then 78 is going to come to find work and knock him off. And his motor, man, he just plays so hard. He never stops going. It's not always pretty, but he never stops going. Look, he gets knocked off balance, but watch him use his raw power to throw this guard off of him right here. Look at that. Ridiculous. Get off of me. And now the effort, the motor, the athleticism, chase him down, make the play. Boom. There we go, Fem. There we go, Femi. Right here. Hard to see because of the goalpost, but that's where he is. The length, the power. He could truly be a power rusher. Look how he keeps his length. Right there. Length. Totally just push you out of my way. You're not even a problem. You tried to block me. And it's just me on the running back. Look at the length, too. That's the thing. Look at it. Right there. One arm on the offensive lineman. One arm tackling the running back. Like, he's a freak show, man. A freak show. Really impressive. Huh. You're trying to kick me out to run up the middle. He's supposed to set a firm edge right there. Set a firm edge right there. Running back goes straight in the middle, and he just destroys it. Destroys the leverage entirely. Get out of my way. right, here's Femi right here. And another guy who's very comfortable dropping back into coverage because of his off-ball linebacker pedigree. Look at him dart through. Boom. See, he's a gap shooter, too. For a guy as strong as he is and as big as he is, he's so explosive. Boom. Straight through. Bang. Got you in the backfield. Tackle for loss. Like, he can play the run day one, man. Bam. Big fan. Big fan of Femi. Titans fans, I hope you guys enjoyed that film breakdown on my favorite edge rushers on day 2 for the Tennessee Titans. There are certainly some other options available in there for the Titans. I think about a guy like Jordan Birch, who I didn't have the opportunity to get into, a big 6'5", 280-pound physical edge rusher. That could make a lot of sense as well. But overall, these are my favorite options. I did them in order for you guys as well. Let me know your favorite edge rusher out of these options. Another reminder, a ton of Cam Ward content coming later on tonight after the pick is made. Also, next week, I'm going to have a slew of film videos out covering all of the guys that the Tennessee Titans do draft. So remember, this is your home for Tennessee Titans X's and O's, and it's always for free. That's going to do it for today's film breakdown. I am your host, Tyler Rowland, and as I tell you guys every episode, tighten up.